So if you remember from a previous episode, we've already removed our wheel clamps. Todd had troubleshooted how to get them unfrozen, and we ended up just knocking the pin that was in there holding it all together out. In theory, we should be able to open this unit because there's nothing that's attaching it here. It just needs to be pulled.
Maybe you're like us, you're in the process of renovating your vintage Airstream and you're having issues with your Zip Dee awning. Ours, looks to be in good condition, but we can't tell because of course we can't open it. Done some research online. I could find, Zip Dee has the replacement parts, but I don't want to replace anything if it's not broken.
Right.
The problem is I just simply can't open it. So what we've decided to do is we're just going to take a trip up to Illinois, go tour the plant and see if I can kind of pick their brain for a little bit, find out what's going on here, and also learn a little bit about Zip Dee. Again, what we want to do with our renovation process is go through each step from two people who don't know anything about a total renovation. Maybe, we'll just push through it and you'll learn both from our mistakes and also from what we find out.
Yeah.
So why don't we get cleaned up and we'll get the kids and we'll head off to Illinois from Texas.
Sounds good.
Should take about maybe a minute.
So today we're in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, which is just north of Chicago, home of Zip Dee Awnings. We're gonna go inside and meet with Nate, who's gonna hopefully show us around and see what they do here. Come on. Hey, are you Nate?
I'm Nate.
Hey, I'm Stephanie. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Zip Dee.
Thank you. So what was the first type of unit that you guys
so actually Zip Dee was founded by a guy named Henry Duda, so like Zip Dee Duda.
Oh, wow.
Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, zip-a-dee-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day.
So he was actually an Airstream guy. He had his own Airstream, and he'd go out camping, and they had one of those tent awnings on it, and his wife said, if we're putting out the awning, I'm not coming with. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna build something that works better. So he built the first retractable awning for Airstreams.
Nice.
And he just built it for himself, and he would go to the Wally Bynum rallies and stuff, and people would see it, and they're like, wow, that's awesome. Can you
They
make me
wanted one?
So he was making them for people, installing them on like roadsides to start with, and then he finally kind of turned it into his own company.
Okay.
And then his kids took it over, and he passed away, I think, in the 90s.
Okay.
His kids took it over, and then some longtime employees bought the company from the original family. So it's still a family-owned company. It's three families own it. It's focused really highly on quality, and we still make everything the way that we always have. We focus really hard on making replacement parts to fit our old stuff. So anytime we come out with something new, we try and make it retrofittable, so you're not stuck in the dark if you got an old awning with old parts on it.
Yeah, the people who are lucky who still have vintage awnings that work and the fabric's still in good condition. I met a guy just a few days ago that has an old 84 Bluebird, big bus, and I got to looking at his awning. I was like, is that a Zip Dee? It looks just like ours. And it was. He said the fabric was still in good condition, and he loves using it.
Department. That's where we make all of our steel folding chairs on old school stuff.
I didn't even know y'all made folding chairs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what else do you guys do?
So they fit really nicely inside an Airstream. They fold up to just 2 inches thick.
Those are nice. What's the weight capacity capacity on these suckers?
Yeah, if you can fit in it, you can sit in it generally.
Well, probably not.
No, I think you'd be alright. You'd be surprised at how big people
We
are.
always have to ask. They're very nice looking.
Yeah, and they're all they're chrome-plated steel, so they're real heavy duty. The fabric is all the sombrero, same stuff your awnings would have. And then they fold up to 2 inches thin.
Super thin, yeah.
That is.
Those are nice. Can you get different types of fabric?
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
chairs?
yeah. Any
Like
color.
to maybe match your awning?
Right, exactly. You can get them on the Airstream. We've actually got a little side of an Airstream here that we test out every single unit on. So anything that goes out the door, these guys actually test it. So every control system gets run through our wall here before they leave here. And so,
I know people love their automatic.
yeah, they're great. They're great. You slide all the bars into all the tubes, make sure that everything's working smoothly before it goes on here. We do like to double, triple check everything.
Right. Very cool.
Make sure it comes out here perfectly.
Depending on the manufacturer of the
Yeah,
rig.
we've got about 150 different sets of hardware
Okay.
configuration.
Wow.
So, and our biggest thing is custom stuff. You know, we do a lot of the Airstream stuff, but if you call us and want an awning for any purpose, we're gonna make it for you.
You just
Small turning stuff, any little processes.
he probably has envy over here.
It's fantastic. So I'm a
Oh, my dad
sailor.
worked in the machine shop, so I'm
cool.
so
Yeah,
familiar with this
yeah,
stuff.
I'm a sailor, and so like I build stuff for my boat all the time. It's amazing just having like this machine
Yeah.
shop available. Over here we've got some vibratory finishers. All of our castings come in as rough sand castings, and so we drill out all the holes in them, and then we do the finishing on them and actually give them that shine. This whole area is designated for just those type of awnings. And so that's pretty much what we use on like the big Prevo conversions. We'll use those and those truck conversions. We've also started doing this two-stage awning where it comes out in one stage and then drops down over the slide out. So because before with these roof-mounted awnings, you can only pitch them so far because the slide-out ones come out
Right.
underneath them. So we've made this awning that comes out a certain amount before it gets to the end of the slide-out room, and then it drops down.
So it still stays up and this part's down?
Right.
So it
right,
covers.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of
I think
cool.
we may have.
These are going to be really cool.
Wow.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah, exactly. It's a special fabric that really does well against the UV rays.
Does it cover both sides or all sides?
Well,
or just the
so
front?
we've got just a screen that covers the front. It's called a solar shade, and then we also make what's called a tropic room, which is it's got side panels and then a front screen, and then they zip together, so it makes like kind of a screen-in porch.
Okay.
And we actually do make them. We custom make every one of those.
Okay. So
because-
regardless of whether you have a vintage awning or a new awning,
Right.
it would be custom for that.
Right, and the reason for it is because different people like their awning set up different ways. So like some people want it way up in the air, some people have it down a little bit farther. So we ask you to set up the awning how you want it,
Oh, yeah,
and then you
preferred
take
height. Okay.
measurements from the ground to
That
the
makes sense.
tube, and then from the
Yeah, because
tube
like
to
taller
the-
people need the awning to be up taller, and shorter people don't really care about Minnesota. Okay.
Roughly per month, how many awnings are you guys manufacturing?
It's right now it's over 1,000 a month. We're cranking them out.
Good,
We're busy. We're busy.
Are most of your awnings going to the United States, or do y'all send outside?
The majority of them are to the United States. We'll get some special orders outside the U.S. There are a lot of Canadian dealers that we deal with, but it's mostly U.S. stuff. There's a good faction of Airstreams over in Europe now, and we get some orders for stuff over in Thailand.
We just learned that the other day. Didn't know they have dealers over there.
Yeah, there's a whole dealer network over there. They've got some dealers over in Thailand, so they're spreading.
Are the awnings installed on the Airstreams during the manufacturing process or during the dealer process?
So either way. We send most of the ones on the Airstreams are installed at the factory, but the dealers do have the option to add optional awning packages.
Like maybe the rear windows.
Right,
or
exactly.
the
Not all of them come with them, and so they can add them on as add-ons.
That's one that I
set
want.
themselves apart.
We have one on the front and on the back, but I would like to get one for the rear
You gotta get the size
back
and
window.
yeah.
But I have no idea the size of it yet. And I don't know if the ones that we have are going to be able to be used or not until we get them open.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So does the side, does that, with a spring does that ever lock up?
So it doesn't usually lock up. If you can spray it with some silicone, and really,
Maybe try
lubricate
that.
it up.
Yeah. Because I'm pulling on that thing pretty tough, and it's just like it's not moving either side.
So the only video that I could really find that was from a Zip Dee guy, I don't remember his name, but he shows, unhooking a latch under the main section of the awning, but we don't have that latch.
Right, I was older than that, yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, is there something up underneath that metal that we just can't see that needs to be
You
unhooked?
probably just
So
don't.
probably just need to lubricate the side, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
We'll do that. I'll video it and act like I know what I'm doing. And
I've had people stick like a big pipe wrench on the 3-inch roller tube before and really try and tweak it loose,
Right.
just kind of wrench it back and forth.
okay, so that's all we got to do is try that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because I don't know. I was like, if I pull too hard, I don't want to snap something.
Our
Yeah,
fear
yeah,
of
and-
breaking things.
Right, and the process normally would be if you get those locks open and you don't have a strap visible to pull out on the strap, then you grab the two outer arms and pull away from the vehicle. Now, if you're grabbing on the outermost arms on both sides, you pull away and it's not coming, then you probably want to go and try and unjam that roll up
Okay,
at the top.
I bet our roller is jammed.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So for us, we have a 78, and we've taken the shell off the frame, and so we're having the frame rebuilt. The only thing that's original to our rig
Two
is
things.
the shell and the awning.
The shell and the awning.
So I'm like, I don't want to replace the awnings if we don't have to. So we're gonna try really hard. And if the fabric's all jacked up, then I'll talk to you about what does that look like? Like, what is the process if you want to get the fabric
Ooh,
replaced?
and we can get different colors.
Yeah, and then you have a vintage line, and then you've got your new standard line or whatever.
Yeah. So the vintage actually falls into the same pricing as the standard.
Okay.
It's just
Picking
all
the color.
all in
Just the
one.
patterns are kind of like the old style.
Yeah.
Like we have a blue
We've got
one.
some stuff that's still available that was older that isn't available now. If it's a color that we use a lot and Sombrella tells us they're going to stop making it, we'll buy up everything they've got so we just have it
Right. That's good.
until we run out of it.
Yeah, and then tell your customers limited.
Right, exactly. And so that's what those vintage ones are on our website. It's stuff that Sombrella's discontinued, but we used a lot of, so we bought up a lot of it. And that's just all that's left.
All right, cool. Awesome.
He checks every piece for marks. We're super careful about the quality control coming out of here. And then he'll cut it to a 1/4 inch on that saw and get them staged here. So everything on this rack is all ready to get put onto awnings.
Okay.
And here they're actually assembling the awnings. See right now they're about to rivet a tube into a fabric tube. Lining it up to make sure that the seam lines up with the dimple in the tube. And we go on and rivet it in place to watch them do that.
Hi there.
How's it going?
All right. So this is Charles. He's our #1 quality control guy around here. That's all I'm doing. Hello. We got this cool checks and balance system, and just make sure that nothing gets out of here.
So that's all that it is.
That's
just
very
wrapped
cool.
up.
Yep.
Everything's on all the mechanics are on the side.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're working on our awning right now. And
Okay, I didn't waste time. We got back from the trip. It was a wonderful trip. As you see in the video, our sticking point wheel locks off and it was still stuck as we saw previously. So there's actually a pin right here, and like I said, I went a little too fast. Started to get to work on it before the camera got here. But I got the pin out, and we're kind of excited. We don't know the condition of the awning. When we talked to Zip Dee, they said that a lot of people actually don't need to replace the awning. The stitching actually goes out before the awning does. Now, I don't know if this is going to last 40 years, but tell you what, I got both sides out. Let's pull it out. It's going to be a little different because we're not going to use the arms. Let's pull it out and let's see what we have.
wow.
So let's show you a close-up. Maybe the camera will spot something.
Wow. There's a little bit of stitch tear right there. Where
Right.
the fabric's probably overlaying. The top stitch seems to be okay. And all these, oh my gosh, it looks so good. It looks so much better than what I thought it was gonna look like. Woo. This is a pleasant surprise.
Let's try this. Now that we got it out, let's pull those arms down and let's see if we can lock it into place. So it's definitely a win for us because the expensive part of the Zip Dee awning, of course, is the fabric itself.
Yes.
That's a couple $1,000s. Newer use. The great thing that we learned about them is that even the new parts, they're still backwards compatible with all the old parts.
Yeah.
So the stuff that they make now will still fit the parts for our antique, or our vintage.
So don't feel like you have to try and find vintage parts if you have a vintage awning. You can buy new parts
Brand new
from
parts.
Zip Dee Awning, and they'll still work on your unit.
Yeah, this is a win. The reason why we're showing you this is we're about to take our frame. We just got back. We're about to take our frame to get rebuilt. So I've got no frame to show you right now, or nothing new for it. But that's about to be rebuilt. We're gonna go pick up our axles. We'll bring that to you here shortly. Still working on the hard drive. I hate Windows. I'm a Windows hater. I've always been a Windows hater, but each time they do an automatic update, it just confirms that I hate them even more. So I'm working on the 2 or 3 videos that are on my external hard drive. We'll get those out to you shortly. Otherwise, if you like what you see, please click subscribe right down here. Follow our channel. We put out at least 1 video a week, and then definitely you want to follow us as we begin the build, because we're going out to these, not only the manufacturers, but to the vendors and talking with them, getting some insight before we decide what product we're going to put inside our unit here.
Yeah,
So,
we want to bring the good information that you sometimes wonder about. We want to bring it to you.
and I'm
Explain
sorry.
to you why we're using who
Yeah,
we're using.
it's so hot. We're like a mile from the sun. We were just up there. We took a day trip up to Illinois.
Yeah.
57 degrees.
Yeah, we were getting out our hoodies and it was awesome.
No. I stayed in my shorts, but I didn't sweat.
Todd.
But
Todd
now
didn't.
we're a mile from the sun, and you can see that. So I apologize. All right.